Welcome to the Beta Feminist Podcast. Hello. Welcome back for another amazing episode. And this one is a bit controversial,
Yeah.
but we eat controversy for lunch here. So, as usual, Madam, who are you?
Obviously, I'm Madam. Hi, it's Chine. I'm back again.
Again, she has refused to leave. She's back here every
I'm
day.
going nowhere.
So she's a resident co-host when it comes to feminism that is bitter, like conk one. Onugbo feminism, bitter leaf feminism. And today we'll be talking about transactional sex. Yay or nay. As it pertains to feminists, as it pertains to women, let's even talk about this transactional sex.
Yes. This one that gets everybody all I'm a feminist, but hold down your butt right. Hold your butt right there. So basically, feminism, transactional sex, yay or nay. I feel like nay shouldn't even be an option. Well, like personally, I feel like this is not up for discussion. But hello, people are who they are, so we have to talk about it. Transactional sex basically is having sex for in exchange for something. It could be money, it could be gifts, it could be power, it could be influence, whatever it is, but sex in exchange of something. And obviously we are going to talk about it from perspective of women having transactional sex. Because that's one that upsets everybody.
Yeah.
Even though men also have transactional sex.
This is something I even wanted to talk about, like in the later end of I would have dropped it like Rema. But trust me, and
I have to bring it forward.
and her baggages of Rema. See, people always only have transactional sex when women are using it. When not just for money. Maybe the woman is social climbing or using it to get ahead in the office. As some people feel like she slept her way to the top. Men sleep their way to the top every single time. And nobody bats an eyelid.
So basically, and I think another problem I have is that when we talk about transactional sex, the scope is kind of narrow when it comes to women, because the only thing you people are thinking is, oh, let's say a man comes to meet a woman, oh, I love you, I want to have sex with you, and the woman says, one round 50K, and then everybody's like, how can you sell your body? But it's like there's so many, like I feel like transactional sex is a spectrum. Now let me explain. Do you know that people have transactional sex in marriages? And this is normalized. If a woman says, oh, I don't feel like having sex with my husband, people will be like, what do you mean you don't want to have sex with your husband? He's your husband. He's a provider and a protector. You are supposed to do it as your duty. Is that not an exchange? Those people think that is an exchange. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, marriage is predicated on transaction, and sex is one of the things you exchange. Men marry for continuous, easy access to sex.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that's one of there's something they say when a man has paid bride price. It's very vulgar. They say you should carry vagina. Carry it to Jelabazie.
You no longer wear pants to sleep.
Exactly. What do you think they are saying? That means a man has come to pay for a lifetime access to the vagina. Really? Do you think that what they paid is worth your vagina? If it's really about that. But it's done in the sense that it's done to please the man. It's done to benefit the man. Because obviously what the price is paying is simply not even worth maybe 1 round or 2 rounds of sex. But he does it for a lifetime. Pays a token, brings yam. Imagine collecting yam for your vagina.
See, my own thing now, like in marriages, let's start from marriages.
Yeah.
Move upwards. In marriages, there's definitely transactional sex. You see people that be like, when my husband does the dishes, I just get wet. That is it. The transaction here is doing dishes, washing plates, taking care of his own children.
Exactly.
His own children, doing the stuff that you normally do around the house. That is a transaction. Okay, maybe when he gives you money for upkeep for the house, 50,000. When my husband sends me a lot, he's on that night.
There's an post that meme where the man's leg is
exactly.
Inside.
But that is transaction.
Is it not transaction?
You only have a problem with it when it's done outside the confines of marriage.
Yes.
And why? Now let's address that. First of all, because this is a topic that I'm very, 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 very extremely, if you like, call me Ron's girl, no problem.
Okay.
It's a topic I'm very, very passionate about, because I see how people, women and men, I don't like transactional. First of all, women, every sex, I make both say that almost every sex is transactional. if you're with your lover, your boyfriend, your man, your monogamous relationship,
Mm-hmm.
you're having sex with him in exchange for love,
Mm-hmm.
companionship.
Yeah.
He's a good man. You want to keep him. Blah 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 blah. And not just most often than not, you're not just having sex for the sake of having sex. There are times that in your relationship where you're like when you don't even want to,
Yeah,
and the
but
man wants to, and you give him,
just
and
to please him.
basically is exchange of love. Blah 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 blah. It's an exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for the men that say they don't like transactional sex, they are not ready to be in relationships with women. Let me put it like this. Let's assume I meet a guy and the guy wants to have sex with me, and I'm like, okay, give me 50,000 naira. And he says, no, I don't like transactional sex. Okay, do you want to date me? They don't want
They
to
don't
date
want
you.
to.
They don't want to give you time, emotions. They don't want to commit to
Nothing.
you. At the same time, they also don't want to commit money. So you don't want to commit time. You don't want to commit effort. You don't want to commit gift. You don't want to give anything. At the same time, you don't want to give money.
So
What do you now want to give? Do you want to be walking down the road and then carry one pussy and fuck? I want to understand. When you say you don't want when men say they don't want transactional sex, you have to understand that at the same time they don't want sex labeled. They don't want sex inside the confines of a relationship. They just want to be able to accept sex without having any commitment or payments
or making any effort.
making any effort. So they just want to tell you, hello, I want to have sex with you.
And then you
just say, oh, okay. And then you have sex and he zips up and goes away. Now, you don't want transactional sex. Okay, how about you sleep with a prostitute? No strings attached. Oh, no, that's still transactional. Okay, how about you get a girlfriend?
And commit to a relationship.
I don't want commitment now. So in essence, okay, how about you get married? Nah, I'm not ready to settle down. So in essence, what you're saying as a man is that you don't want to do anything, but you want easy access to sex. Now, what does that tell you? Now, if you take that, okay, let's take away money, because one thing I believe that women view money from a vulgar position.
Yeah.
They will not count having sex for promotion or having sex for contracts worth billions as transactional sex. The only count is when it's a runs girl. They kind of, when you say transactional sex, what comes into everybody's mind, men and women are alike, is a woman having sex for 20K.
Yeah.
Runs girl. Now, you forget that when you have sex for contract, it's also transactional. When you have sex to get promoted at your workplace, it's also transactional. When you have sex with to save the life of your son, because let's say the doctor said, oh, this is the only thing I want, if I can have sex with you, don't worry, it's also transactional. When you have sex because you want an A in that course, it's also transactional. All these are examples of transactional sex.
Yeah.
But why do we just fixate on the ones that we claim runs girls too? I remember, I think it was last year or last 2 years that Just Lover broke news about a certain woman, a certain media personality. I think it was Mo, that allegedly she was having affairs with the dignitaries, according to Just Lover, she allegedly had affairs with every incoming governor of Lagos State.
Yeah.
And in essence, in exchange, they gave her contracts for billions for media, for this fire voting. That one that was doing Sherlock Holmes at NSAS gave her. All of them, the one that did one round and left, gave her. All of forgotten their names, please. They don't matter like that. All of them, the current one, Sanwo-Olu, gave her. All of them kept on giving her contracts worth billions.
Yeah.
Then I came on Facebook, which is the major social media platform that I am on. I came on Facebook. I was expecting, generator type dragging onto say transactional sex. After all, we say we hate trans girls, and I was seeing people accolades everywhere. Even people that say they hate married women, or people that say they hate women having sex with married men. Everybody was like, "She's my stan. You can't pull her down. You can't do this one. Yes, go girl." And me personally, I was go girling her, but from the angle of, yeah, she's a lady in her 50s, 60s, and still getting it, because when I'm 56s, I want to be able to be attracting big men like that, and having sex with them. Come on, but because there's this thing in our head, where there's this thing in the head of the society where we feel like once you get to a certain age, as a woman, you go and crawl and die. No man is checking for you. These men are checking for 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. So when you see this happening in real life, when you see this happening in real life, where women at a certain age are getting it, you like, but that's not even the angle. My uncle was like, okay, why are these people suddenly not shouting against transactional sex? Because that is what it was. it still is transactional sex when you're having sex in exchange for contracts. And it shows the way we think as a society. There is this nonsense morality and our elitism. Okay, if you're having sex for contracts worth billions, it is no longer transactional sex. But if you're having sex for 20,000 naira, it is transactional sex.
You get?
If you're having sex to save your son, it is no longer transactional sex. But if you're having sex at the main road, to eat, to find money to eat, is transactional sex. Do you get? If you're having sex for promotion or whatever, it is no longer transactional sex. But if you're having sex as a student to buy wig, it is transactional sex. And that is how we reason. If we're going to be honest and have a conversation about transactional sex and say we hate transactional sex, then we should also be against that one.
Yeah.
The one that big women are doing. It is also wrong. It is also transactional sex. We should also be against it. Or we should just accept it into.
I mean, like another point I wanted to raise is when married women say, and this is something I've actually seen personally, sometimes women fall out with their husbands and then the man stops. When people fall out, they don't want to have sex, obviously. And then the man withdraws things like money for school fees, money for feeding, because you're not having sex with him. What do you think that says? You're having transactional sex with your husband. You're basically a prostitute. He's paying you to feed his children.
Of course.
And men do it a lot. So, like someone said, the hypocrisy of dividing these things according to maybe social or economic level, because a girl, maybe a university girl did it for 10K or 20K, be like dirty girls, all these ashawo girls. And I feel like women have not yet clocked that. Men simply want to be the ones in charge of power over our bodies. That is why things like prostitution, sex work, runs girl, and all those nonsense things they like to tag women with is a real thing. And women buy into all these narratives about themselves, and then they start classifying themselves. If you go to your boyfriend's house and you spend a few days, and then when you're going, obviously people have sex, and then when you're going, he sends you 100K. What is he sending you the money for? Because you people actually know that you're dating men that if you withdraw sex from, he's going to withdraw affection.
Definitely.
So why don't people acknowledge that is transactional sex? You think it's only when you're standing in Allen. I saw a Facebook post the other day and they were writing long notes about why I went to Aminu Kanu, what's that in Abuja? And I saw so many fine girls. What do we do about it? Like, what do you mean, what do you do about women standing on the road and selling sex? And I feel like it's so dishonest to talk about sex work, transactional
without
sex.
talking about the
When they are not, when you start from the angle of women and not the men who are keeping these industries afloat. Look at OnlyFans. Do you know how much that app blew? My money is not in OnlyFans. I don't know what OnlyFans looks like. I don't know what their interface is like. I've never gone there. I'm not interested in buying sex from men or from women. Men keep the industry afloat. So any discussion, criticism that comes, because all the women they're talking, oh, women are just lazy these days, and then the men are also talking like, who is buying the sex? Yeah, I am sure that half of the women on that thread have husbands. These women have husbands who are purchasing sex. The side chicks your husbands have, they are giving them money, and you know it. The men are saying being all hypocritical. So it's very hypocritical to me to have a discussion about transactional sex and then the morality and feel like you have the right to say, because at the end of the day, what it means that men like transactional sex a lot. Believe me, they love it.
Of course.
They just want to be the ones to be able to set the price.
Exactly.
They don't have sex with you and give you what they feel you deserve. They don't want you to name your price. They don't want you to say, oh, before I can have sex with you, I want you to give me 1 million naira. No. That's outrageous to them. What they want to do is to have sex with you and they give you 10,000 naira for you to manage. It's transactional. They know that they are buying sex. They know that. So I feel like it's so, especially on the aspect of women, like we always say, women like to place themselves on this higher moral standard. Oh my God, transactional sex is bad. You only have sex for love. And I like half of you are with men that you do not love.
But even if you're having sex for love, it is still transactional.
Yes, people are still exchanging.
You want love, he wants sex. It's still a contract.
Yeah.
If he withdraws that love, you're no longer giving him sex.
So something is being exchanged.
Something is being exchanged. Transaction must not necessarily
it's not only money. Exactly. That's the point you were making earlier. It's not just money. So if you're doing it for contract, some of you have sex with men for the financial security they provide, or for just the security of having a man. So it's not even basically financial, but the security of having a man being covered, as people say, by a man, the social benefits of being associated with a man, you are exchanging all of this for continuous sexual access. So I feel
is it not called transactional at the end of the day?
It is.
Even the married women, when you say, my husband did this, and immediately he did this, it is still transactional.
It is a lot, actually. So I feel like we need to step off this high horse we always have when we talk about women exchanging sex. And personally, I feel like, of course, why should we? Have you seen the way men chase vagina? Duh, of course it should be transactional. If men had it.
Do you know the funny thing about it is, if transactional sex, were wiped out or something, if something happened and the world said, okay, no more transaction, men will die,
kill themselves.
Men will, because the only way most men would get sex is if they paid for it.
Yeah.
If the woman needed something from them and they could not get it. Like if I need a job now, and Oga knows that I'm in dire need of this job, and he knows that he can ask me, and I would be so desperate as to give it. Now imagine if there were no opportunity, which is why we're actually looking for feminism, and we're fighting for equality, because if we live in an egalitarian society, there'll be a lesser need for transactional sex.
Exactly.
Because when women have transactional sex, they want something. If I'm having sex with you because you are my good husband and you do my dishes, and I go get a dishwasher, or I'm so empowered that I get a house help, I would not feel indebted to you for washing the plates
and then wanting to give it up.
Exactly. You would have to come up higher.
That means you've lost that opportunity to have that access.
That is it. You cannot. It's no longer my husband washed plates and I got wet. No. My husband took care of if my earning power moves up, and I can afford a dishwasher, I can afford a nanny, and I can afford a thing, you would not have anything to do to impress me to get wet to have sex with you.
Exactly.
If my earning power goes up and I can get this contract by sheer merit and not me putting out, then you would have nothing to hold over my head. And this is why we are agitating for an egalitarian society, because if this thing were wiped out, now men go suffer and last. There's this running joke on Twitter that, thank God say women know they do Yahoo, because if they say, are you alone, come around, women can always have sex anytime they want. Men are that cheap.
Yeah, they are, actually.
When we say, when people say women are cheap, get money. No, that's not, when you need money to access women, it doesn't make them cheap. But men, you don't need to have money. You just
nothing.
I am at home, come around, and they will run.
Just be a walking vagina and they'll fall in.
Men even have sex with mad women on the road, dead women. What
so what are we saying?
If this thing, if somehow we woke up tomorrow and there would be no need for transactional sex, men are going to, and apart from the fact that they are the beneficiaries of transactional sex, sometimes they are the people who do this transaction. We know a lot of actors, singers that have sugar mummies that are fucking men too.
Skit makers, them in particular,
that are buying houses every 5 minutes. Cryptocurrency,
prostitutes, all of you.
So what is going to happen when all of you don't have that access to see your sugar daddy and sugar mommy? The thing is, when they talk about transactional sex, they make it a woman issue.
A woman thing,
it's a human issue. Men also have transactional sex. Men, I don't want to name names before it will come from my head, but there will know a lot of some of these actors that dated senators. Some of these actors and singers that dated millionaire women, that used them to climb up, that the women took them outside Nigeria. Joe, at least I can say Joe Boy, because he came out and said his own, that he has a sugar mommy. There are plenty of them. So what are we not talking about? But when we talk, I'm imagining, I think I made a post about it one time, that if it were a female singer, if it was someone like Ara Star that came out with her full chest to say, oh yeah, I have a sugar daddy, and he takes care of me, he flies me abroad, he buys me nice things, Nigeria will melt down. But we don't, when a man has, that shows you the hypocrisy of it all. Because when a man talks about transactional sex, or what he gains from having sex from a certain type of people, men or women pretend like, it's just nothing. When Bobrisky talks about all her boyfriends, her sugar daddies, everybody's like,
people drag him.
But if Destiny Etiko should say something like that, come on. So at the end of the day, we don't hate transactional sex. You don't hate it. You just hate that women can monetize.
Nigerian men don't hate transactional sex. They lead when they approach you. They move with money. Nigerian men, they'll be like, even the ones that are poor. I will take care of you. Exactly. I will do this for you. What do you want? It's just that they want to be the ones to set the price. They don't want you to set the price because they feel like you shouldn't have the audacity to do that.
Exactly.
Just the whole male audacity thing. And Nigerian man will move to you and start telling you, what do you need in life? Are you saying that I'm not capable of taking care of you? So what do you think he's offering? Of course, he's offering his money to have access to it, because believe me, it's not love. They don't love anybody.
It's not love.
They just want to force
which kind of?
So they are leading with money. The money they feel they have, and it's across all economic stratas: the poor, the middle class, the rich. Especially when they feel you are poorer than them or more vulnerable, they move with money. What do you have? They want your vagina. They have money to give you. Some of them may be only able to afford 10K. Some of them can afford 100K. Some of them can afford 1 million naira, and they move accordingly. So it's very hypocritical, and it annoys me so much when women hop on this train. So when they start the modesty, decency, morality, your moral code is your personal issue.
Send you, even like Tina was saying, even in schools, even when the transaction is not a monetary stuff. When you go to school and you see lecturers asking you out, and if you agree to date me, you will not fail. You're going to pass. Even courses that are not in my department, I'll see to it that you pass. You know, this stuff, this kind of thing lets you, and then they say, the girls are lazy. They're not.
How?
But how? If I know that if I have sex with you, I don't have to read, people will take the easy way out. Because you provided, men provide this thing, and then get angry that women are exploiting it. You provide this out, and then get angry that women are making use of it. If every lecturer in the school says, okay, there is nothing that like transactional sex, we're not going to have sex.
People have to read.
People always take the shortcut. It's how life is.
Yeah.
If you say, okay, if you provide similar shortcut for men, for boys, obviously. And it's like that because most lecturers in universities are men.
Are male.
So if women have the same audacity to be asking out boys, and they do it all across universities,
it would be a thing.
It would be a thing. Boys will be having transactional sex too for their studies. You'll be having sex for grades, but with boys this time around.
Yeah.
So
I feel like men keep this industry afloat. So I don't understand their own angle. Like I'm not the one paying for sex.
It's like those policemen that went to rape prostitutes with waterproof
nylon.
With nylon, but they are angry that these women are prostitutes, but they also rape them.
So you want their services. So what are you upset? I don't get, seriously. It baffles me sometimes. Sometimes I just start laughing because men are so illogical. They like to claim they are logical. They're very illogical.
At the end of the day, because I think one thing women ought to do is to sort out their issues with money. Because I can remember one time, somebody on Facebook, a Siri, she told me she made a post. She said something like, you have sex. You have sex with a stunning man, a stranger, and then in the morning, he leaves 50,000 or let's say 100,000 naira on your nightstand, and then he leaves and you wake up, you take it and you go home. And I think I was really pleased with it. I think this was in 2017. I was like, isn't that is belittling?
Yeah.
What does it take me for? Does it think I'm a prostitute? And she asked me a question, which I'll still use this as a turning point in my life. She asked me a question. She said, okay, if you had woken up and you had seen, let's say, jewelry or flowers, would you have been that offended?
Yeah.
I said no, and she said, but he bought it with that money. Like, so what is now the difference
between the money and the gift?
Exactly, and the gift. So if you don't have a problem with women having sex, and then with you having sex in the morning and you're getting gifts or getting flowers or you're getting roses and a card or you're getting contracts,
something,
then why do you have a problem with someone having sex for 20K? Because I don't see the outrage when women have sex for huge things like contracts, cars. You're like, hey,
houses.
I tap in.
Boss lady.
Yeah. So it's still that elitism and hypocrisy.
Yes. So basically, I only feel like when it comes to transactional sex, you need to know what you're doing. You need to think about what you're doing. Be sure that I'm giving advice for women, young girls now. If this is what you want to do with your future, know the reason why you're doing it. Put a premium on it.
Thank you.
Don't because once you are in close proximity with men, the first thing you want to do is try to belittle you. No, if you didn't want what you were selling, you wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Put a premium on it. Take care of yourself. Look out for yourself.
Like some of you that go to date married men and start falling in love.
You get you are falling hand I beg. Like retreat. You can come back to the celibacy side and think about it before you go back. Because don't do that. You are getting reparations
If
from the
you're going
patriarchy,
to,
not
exactly,
love.
if you're going to engage in transactional sex, make sure it is worth it.
What it?
Yeah, you do it well and do it well.
Put a
And when you
premium
want
on
to
it.
bounce, you bounce. People are still doing it at 60 and 50 allegedly. So, and they are getting the contracts worth millions from it. You too can do it. Yeah. When you're tired, or maybe when you feel like, this man shouldn't touch me again, you bounce with your money.
Like Obama said, yes, we can.
Yes, you can, my dear. And thank you for watching this episode. Like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Thank you. Bye bye.